Alonzo Saclag. There are individuals whose lives become bridges between the past and the present, people who hold on to the delicate threads of tradition and weave them back into the fabric of modern society. Alonzo Ayatu Saclag Sr., born on August 14, 1942, in the mountain town of Lubuagan in Kalinga province, was one such figure, a quiet yet powerful force of cultural preservation whose entire life became a mission to keep the heritage of his people alive. He grew up as a member of the Kalinga community, surrounded by rituals, music, and customs that were steadily fading as the years went by. What made his story remarkable was that, unlike many cultural workers who learned through formal training or mentorship, Saclag was completely self-taught. He had an intuitive connection to the ceremonial rhythms and expressive dance forms of his people, a natural ability that allowed him to absorb music, movement, and meaning simply by watching, listening, and living within the community. As a boy and later as a young man, he spent countless hours observing elders perform traditional dances and play ancestral instruments. The gong music of Kalinga, especially the gangsa, fascinated him. The gangsa is a flat, handheld gong played in ensembles during ceremonies and community gatherings, and by the time Saclag reached adulthood, fewer and fewer young people were learning the craft of playing it. Realizing this art form was in danger of disappearing, he began painstakingly teaching himself the intricate patterns, timing, and physical expressions that defined Kalinga performance traditions. His learning was not structured. Instead, it was born from immersion, determination, and a deep sense of responsibility to his heritage. The absence of teachers did not hinder him. If anything, it pushed him to explore the traditions even more passionately, testing rhythms, copying gestures, and recreating dance steps until they became second nature. As the years passed, he recognized that the decline of these traditions was not a small concern but a cultural crisis. The younger generation was being pulled toward more modern influences, and the rituals that once anchored Kalinga identity were slowly slipping away. This motivated him to take action. One of his first major efforts involved reviving the gangsa tradition in his community. He traveled throughout Kalinga, meeting with village elders, talking to families, and urging young people to learn the art of playing the gong. His advocacy did not stop there. He realized that the survival of Kalinga culture needed more than musical revival. It required institutional support and sustained exposure. Understanding how essential it was for cultural artifacts and practices to have a home where they could be preserved, studied, and appreciated, Saclag embarked on a bold campaign to transform the old and used Capitol building in Lubuagan into a cultural center. For 2 years, he tirelessly lobbied the provincial government, speaking with officials, writing letters, and pushing for the creation of a museum. His persistence paid off. With the help of government leaders and outside supporters, a branch of the National Museum was eventually established in his hometown. This museum became a repository of artifacts, history, and heritage, an anchor for Kalinga identity and a testament to Saclag's unwavering commitment. But his work extended far beyond buildings and artifacts. Saclag understood that culture survives when it is lived, practiced, and celebrated, especially by the young. He began reaching out to schools, meeting administrators and teachers to encourage them to integrate Kalinga arts into school activities. Through his efforts, students began wearing traditional garments during important events, rekindling a visible connection to their ancestry. Folk songs that had once been on the verge of fading were reintroduced in classrooms, passed from teachers to children, and carried from children back into their homes. He also pushed for traditional Kalinga music to be played on local radio, symbolically placing it alongside contemporary hits and ensuring that community members would hear and remember the sounds of their heritage in everyday life. His mission to spread Kalinga cultural expression to a broader audience led him to form the Kalinga Badong dance troupe. Through this group, he trained young performers, taught them the discipline and emotion embedded in each movement, and took them to events where Kalinga dances could be showcased with pride. The troupe became an artistic ambassador for the region, elevating awareness and respect for the traditions that had shaped generations. For his tireless dedication and unmatched contributions to cultural preservation, Saclag was honored in the year 2000 with the National Living Treasures Award, one of the most distinguished recognitions given to Filipino artists who play crucial roles in safeguarding intangible heritage. The award affirmed what many already knew, that Saclag was not merely a practitioner of Kalinga art but a guardian of an entire culture. Even in the later years of his life, his passion did not wane. By 2016, he had established Ayatu, a cultural village in Lubuagan designed to welcome tourists and provide them with an immersive experience of Kalinga heritage. This village was not just a tourist site. It functioned as a living classroom where visitors could witness traditional dances, observe the making of local crafts, and participate in cultural exchanges that deepened appreciation for indigenous Filipino traditions. Ayatu became one more legacy that Saclag left behind, a testament to his belief that culture must not only be remembered, it must be lived. Beyond his work, Saclag had a full and devoted personal life. He was married to a woman named Rebecca, who stood by him throughout his decades of cultural advocacy. Their life together was busy and deeply rooted in community, and they raised 9 children. Despite his many commitments, Saclag remained a family-centered man, instilling in his children the same love for heritage that guided his every endeavor. Being a father of 9 shaped his understanding of the importance of passing tradition from one generation to the next, and this personal perspective strengthened his resolve to ensure that Kalinga arts and customs would remain alive long after his time. Financially, Saclag lived modestly, as most cultural workers in indigenous communities do. His income came largely from performances, cultural projects, and occasional support tied to his advocacy work. He was not a man of material wealth, but after receiving recognition from the National Living Treasures Award and establishing Ayatu Village, he achieved a level of financial stability uncommon among rural cultural practitioners. By the final years of his life, his estimated net worth was considered to be $300,000, primarily reflecting the value of his cultural village project, properties linked to his legacy, and the modest earnings accumulated over decades. Yet for Saclag, wealth was never the measure of success. His true legacy was the survival of Kalinga identity. On November 29, 2025, at the age of 83, Alonzo Ayatu Saclag Sr. passed away in his hometown of Lubuagan. His death marked the end of an era but also illuminated the enduring influence of a man who had dedicated every part of himself to preserving tradition. When he died, the community mourned not only a cultural artist but a guardian of memory, a mentor, a leader, and a father whose passion ensured that Kalinga heritage would continue to thrive. Saclag's life remains a powerful reminder that culture survives because of individuals who choose to protect it. His achievements continue to resonate through museums, schools, dance troupes, radio programs, and the village he founded. More importantly, they live on in the hearts of the people of Kalinga, people who, thanks to him, carry the rhythms, stories, and identity of their ancestors into the future. And with that, thanks for watching. Give us a like, share with friends, and please subscribe.